It's the hottest show in town. Academy Award winner Aaron Sorkin's adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird. Like the Pulitzer Prize-winning book by Harper Lee set in 1934 Alabama, Atticus Finch tries to save the life of an innocent Black man, Tom Robinson, played by Yaegel T. Welch, and he's here to break it down. Yaegel T. Welch, welcome to Black Renaissance.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's very much my pleasure.
First, congratulations. This is the biggest hit on Broadway, and now it's in San Francisco. That's major.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
There are no spoilers in To Kill a Mockingbird, first of all. Everyone has read the book, they've seen the movie, they know the ending. So
Yes.
you stepped into the role of that Brock Peters played in the movie. He passed away several years ago. Were you able to channel any inspiration from him?
It's so funny that you asked that question because when I was in grad school, believe it or not, I earned my equity card, my union card for to be a professional actor, performing in a tour of To Kill a Mockingbird that was going around the Boston City area. And a part of that was studying To Kill a Mockingbird, and I also decided to watch the movie, and I honed in on Brock Peters' performance. There was just such a strong dignity.
Oh, yeah. He's major. He is
He's
major.
major.
Brock Peters, he's like one of the first Black faces that we ever knew on television. And in that
Mhm.
role, you know, it's funny because when I saw the play, um, there'd been a change. You know, the way we read Harper Lee's book back in the 60s or the 70s,
Mhm.
and that interracial anything was a big deal, particularly in
Yes.
Alabama. And
Yeah.
but by the time we see it in San Francisco, it's not such a big deal. And the idea of a white woman desiring a Black man, we see it every day. But the thing
Yes.
that seemed to get the audience was when he didn't know his place.
Yes. Yes. And it's important to understand that at this point in time, Black men, Black people were being killed and hung to make a point.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the ultimate sin was touching a white woman. And dare you think you're better? Dare you think you have um,
Better
uh,
not.
any any reason to feel sorry for one of them? Why would a Black person feel sorry for a white person? You're Black. You
You're
know,
an
like
uppity
that.
Negro, uppity
An uppity
Negro.
Negro. And so, in order to make sure that other Negroes don't get uppity, you have to make an example of that Black man. And the truth is, uh, what's so interesting, and the reason why I think Atticus Finch motivates so many people to be an attorney is his openness and his sense of naivete and hope that the system will work. And I think that inspired a lot of lawyers, but it was essentially a suicide mission from the beginning.
Oh,
Um,
for sure,
Tom,
for sure. I mean,
if Tom,
let's just be real. This
Mhm.
story, that's the exception. This
Yes,
rarely ever happened. And
yes,
representation, I know many lawyers who became lawyers in order to keep us from swinging from trees. So
yes.
that's very real. They are banning this book
Mhm,
nowadays. I mean, we've all read it, but
mhm.
now it's on the list of banned books. I think there are dozens of school systems that have taken it off the shelves. And
Yes,
you did a performance for students in San Francisco in defiance of that. Tell me about that a little
yes,
bit.
yes. And ironically, one of my good friends was one of the teachers who brought his students to see the play. So I felt like just really sort of privileged. You know, it's a story that took place in 1934. You know, it's not happening anymore. But I think in the recent events in the wake of George Floyd's death, in the wake of what we saw happen with Breonna Taylor, and so many other young Black people who are being killed at the hands of the law, where the system has not worked in their favor, I think nowadays, when you see the story, it's not encapsulated. It is not something that is happening in the past. It's current, it's immediate, it's now. Okay. And it's a privilege to get to sort of educate young people about this story for those very reasons, because if we can get them understanding that there is no middle ground between what's just and unjust when it comes to another human being's life and livelihood. If we can instill that this young, maybe they'll carry that through. And then maybe we won't need to read To Kill a Mockingbird in the same way. Maybe one day it will be encapsulated.
And
We don't,
it will pose no threat to anyone. Absolutely.
anyone. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, listen, congratulations. I know this has been a huge success. I want
Yes.
everyone to come out and see you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Yaegel T. Welch, thank you so much for joining us on Black
Thank you
Renaissance.
so much for having me. It was very much a pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you. Take
Awesome.
care.
Nice meeting you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Don't miss the most successful play in Broadway history, To Kill a Mockingbird, now playing at San Francisco's Golden Gate Theater through October 9th. For tickets and information, visit BroadwaySF.com.